Welcome back. Today we'll be setting up this little thing of a beauty. It's the ADA Nature Aquarium Mini NA Set 150, and it's one of the smallest nature aquarium sets out there. I think it's probably the smallest high-tech planted aquarium set you can get right now, and it's only been released a few weeks ago, so it's still very new. I don't think it has been released in other parts of the world yet. I think currently it's still only in Japan, so soon you guys will be able to get your hands on this. But I gotta warn you, this isn't the cheapest aquarium set out there. It's quite pricey. But I wanted to do a video on it and wanted to set it up and see what your thoughts are about this mini aquarium set. So let's open this thing up and get this thing set up. Alright, so first off I must say it's a very compact set, this thing. It's very easy to carry. So it's really nano. So when you open it up, you've got this paper that shows you all the items that are included. You've got a picture of the tank, of everything that's in this package. So first up, you've got your ball valve. This is for the CO2. I'll put that on the side. You've got the new Bell Glass Mini. So this is a new CO2 diffuser that ADA released when they released this nature aquarium set. So it's more like, it's not a diffuser, but it's I don't know what they call it. It just holds CO2 in a little cup and it slowly melts the CO2, dissolves the CO2 into the water column. Next up, you've got the mini NA liquid. So I think this is like a fertilizer. And then you've got the Stream Pump Mini. So this is basically the filtration for the set. It's just a little pump that will circulate the water around the little aquarium. Then you've got the Magnet Light G Slim. So this is also a new light that ADA has released. Unfortunately, it's not an RGB light, which I would have loved. An RGB light, I think, looks much better in my opinion. Next up, we've got the Metal Cover Mini. So this will be the cover on top. Metal Base Mini. Then we've got the CO2 system. And last but not least, we've got the aquarium itself. The Cube Garden 15 by 15 by 22 centimeters. This little aquarium, which we're gonna put plants and fill it up with water, is smaller than this. My Dua Neo Glass Air. Like, look at that. It's the same in that it's 15 by 15, but the height. Today we're setting up 15 by 15 by 22. This is by 30. So it's definitely gonna be an exciting one, because if you know me, I don't really like nano tanks. If you look in the fish room, there's really no nano tanks in here. The smallest tank I've got are these two over here. Well, of course these, but these don't have any water, any fish in them. The smallest tanks with fish are these, and these are 10 gallons. I don't think you can consider them as nano tanks. Well, maybe you can, but they're not planted. I don't have to do trimming. I don't have to maintain it regularly, and it's not a hassle to maintain. So I'm guessing today's tank, this one right here, is gonna be a little bit tricky since it's so small. But we'll go ahead, give it a try, and let's begin. Inside the tank, there's a few different items. So there's this new product called Bacter R, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I'll definitely put it up here on the screen once I figure out what it is. There's instructions on how you find the instructions for this, so we'll do that. And then in here, you've got, this is pretty rare. You don't usually get these. This is an ADA logo sticker, which is quite nice. And then right here, we've got a bag of soil. So it comes with soil, which is pretty nice. I believe it's the ADA Amazonia version 2, since the version 1, the normal Amazonia, has been discontinued. This is beautiful. Like brushed aluminum or stainless steel. I think stainless steel. You've got the ADA logo on top. So this logo here, it's on top. Once you put the tank on, you'll never see the logo. And I think the reason why they put it here and not in front is because they've already got a logo on the tank. So if they have a logo here and a logo down below, it'll just be like too repetitive. And they've also got a logo on the metal cover, which we'll see later. So I think it's good that they did that. You don't want to show the logo too much. Sometimes less is more. You've got a few sticky pads for you to place on the metal base so that the tank doesn't move around. So with regular cube garden aquariums, ADA or rimless tanks, you put like a mat. But since this is such a small platform, you've got these little rubber sticky pads. This is for the bottom of the base so that the base itself doesn't move. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this really quick. So you can see right here, just peel it off and we'll stick it. Once we've got the bottom pasted on, you can see it's stable, doesn't move around. Next, we'll put the sticky pads so that the tank doesn't move about. I'm enjoying this. It's quite fun when a company releases a new product and you have to play around and it's something you've never done before. So you can see these 4 little dots on each corner. Oh, we can put the tank on top of that. Still moves a little bit, still a bit wobbly, but I'm sure once you put some weight on it, it'll stay in place. So let's add some soil. So I'm not sure if you're meant to put like a base fertilizing substrate in here because it is such a small little tank. But usually I do, so I'm gonna go get some pumice, put some pumice in here, just a very thin layer, and then we'll put this. I'm going to put just the tiniest amount of pumice in here, just because I have it. If you don't have it, you don't need it. It's not in the instructions. Just a little bit. I think I might put a bit more than this. When I put pumice in the bottom, it just makes it feel more like a nature aquarium, like the original style nature aquarium. Ideally, if you get this set, you wouldn't have pumice in this whole system. So before pouring the soil in, you would sprinkle some of this Bacter R underneath the soil, and I think that gives some nutrients. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of this. I don't know if I need to use all. I think I'll just use all since there's so little. It might be a little bit more than necessary, especially if you're going to do a sand foreground. You probably don't need this much soil. I don't think you do. But today we're not going to do a sand foreground. My goal for this tank is to make it a lush jungle, just green plants and red plants as well, a mix of colors and a mix of stem plants and epiphyte plants. It's going to be just a jungle, so I'm excited for this. To raise the back up, create some depth, and also the stem plants will need more soil. I just brought out 3 pieces of wood, 3 of the smallest driftwood I have, and 2 of them are a bit too big. First this one, it touches all corners, so this one is a no-no. So that's gone. It is a nice piece though. I really like this. I really like the ironwood types like this. This is really nice too. But this unfortunately is a bit too bulky for my liking. I would like to angle it, but there's just not enough space. If I think about trimming and stuff, doing water changes, it's gonna be a nightmare. So we ended up with this beautiful piece. And this looks big too, but it's actually quite slender, so it does fit nicely and I can push it down in there. Now I just gotta figure out, I think I like it like that. I'm gonna get a rock to hold it down. I was thinking of maybe putting a rock in here, but there's just not enough space for that. It's either you go for a rock layout or a driftwood layout. You could do both, but you gotta really pick smaller pieces of driftwood. This is the smallest I have on hand. I have thinner branches, but I don't really like using thin branches, so yeah, this is more kind of my taste. It's personal preference. You can do whatever you like. Alright, so it's all ready for plants to go in. The plants we'll be using today is right here. So we've got 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀 for the foreground, and the rest are going to be some really colorful stem plants and 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀. So I've just got the CO2 set up. It's a very simple system and very easy to set up. Anyone can do this. So you've got the hook. It comes with a little rubber stopper so that it doesn't hit the glass directly right there, which is very nice. And then, so the hook hooks onto the regulator. But unfortunately, this thing doesn't come with a solenoid valve, so if you want an automatic timer system, you gotta put that on yourself. But for my case, since I'm in this room every day, I'll just come and turn it on in the morning and turn it off once I'm done. And if that gets too tiring, I'll just attach a solenoid valve. You've got the ball valve. So the ball valve connects to the metal joint, and then you've got the CO2 tubing, which then you attach to the check valve. And the check valve is included in the 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀 set. And after that, you connect the silicone tube to the check valve, and right there goes the 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀. And the thing I really like about the 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀 is that it's so simple and it's so cute. This thing doesn't require any suction cups, so you don't have to worry about suctioning it onto the glass inside. It just hooks in, and it's a really cute idea, and I really like the shape of this. With glassware, you always want to be careful because it is very delicate. It can break quite easily if you're not careful. You never want to put too much force on these areas, the parts where it's curved, because those are the weak points. So always be careful. Never connect the rigid tubing to glass, because that will just, you'll probably most likely break the glass. Always use the soft tubing after the check valve. Absolutely beautiful. Look at my scape. It's so simple, but I think once the plants start growing in, it'll look pretty fantastic. I'm excited. I guess now it's just time to fill it up. Don't go anywhere. In just a few moments, I'll show you close up of how this tank looks after a few days have passed. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.